The night wind swept across the barren plains of Montana, carrying the scent of rain and dust into the dimly lit barn where Cole Danner sat, sharpening his old Bowie knife. The rancher had lived alone for years. His only companions the horses that grazed beyond the fence and the ghosts of a family he once had. The world had grown quiet around him, too quiet. Until that evening when he heard a faint cry echo through the storm. It wasn't the cry of an animal. It was human. Cole stood up immediately. His instincts sharpened from years of surviving the wilderness. Grabbing his lantern and rifle, he stepped into the black night. Lightning tore across the sky, revealing the outline of a figure tied to a post near the ridge. Half hidden by the downpour, trembling, struggling to free themselves. "What in God's name?" he muttered, his boots crunching against the wet earth as he approached. When he got closer, his heart pounded faster. The figure was small, frail, wrapped in torn fabric soaked in mud. Whoever it was, they'd been beaten, badly. Cole dropped to his knees, slicing through the ropes with his knife. "You're safe now," he said firmly, but the voice that answered made him pause. "Please, don't judge me when you see." It was a woman's voice, broken, desperate, and filled with something that sounded like shame. Cole hesitated, his hands trembling slightly as he pulled the last knot free. When the final rope fell, lightning flashed again. And that's when he froze in horror. The woman's face was marked, branded, burned into her skin with a cruel symbol he recognized all too well. It was the mark of the Renard gang. Outlaws who trafficked and tortured those they deemed worthless. "Dear God," Cole whispered, stepping back, his chest tightening with rage and disbelief. The woman flinched at his reaction, turning her face away. "I told you not to look," she said weakly. "They did this to make sure no one ever would. Again." Her words sliced through him like a knife. Cole took a deep breath and knelt back down, his voice gentler this time. "No one has the right to do that to another soul. You hear me? No one." She looked up at him, eyes full of pain. And for a moment he saw something more than scars, he saw a story. One written in tears and fire. Cole carried her into the cabin, laying her near the hearth as he stoked the fire to life. She shivered violently, and he wrapped her in his old wool blanket. "You got a name?" he asked quietly. "Lena," she whispered, avoiding his gaze. "I ran from them. But they found me again." Cole's jaw clenched. He'd heard rumors of the Renard gang, trafficking people through the old mining routes. But seeing their cruelty firsthand made his blood boil. He fetched a pot of hot water, tending her wounds with care. Every time he touched her burned skin, she winced but didn't cry out. She'd already run out of tears. "You're safe here, Lena. I promise you that." She shook her head. "No one's ever safe from them. They hunt like wolves. And when they do, they don't stop until they've broken you." Cole poured her a cup of water and sat back, studying her. "I was a lawman once," he said quietly. "Before my wife and boy died. I hung up my badge. But maybe it's time I dusted it off again." Lena's eyes widened. "You'd risk your life for me?" He looked at her steadily. "You deserve a life to risk for." For the first time, a flicker of hope passed over her expression, faint but real. She watched him patch the bullet hole in his old duster coat, reload his rifle, and check his revolver. When dawn broke, the first thing she saw was Cole mounting his horse. Storm clouds still lingering behind him. "Where are you going?" she called out weakly. "To end this," he said. "So you never have to hide again." Hours later, the silence of the plains broke with gunfire. Cole rode into the Renard camp like thunder, alone. Outnumbered, but with a fury that made even hardened men falter. He moved with the precision of a man who'd lost everything and had nothing left to fear. "This is for every soul you've scarred," he roared, his rifle cracking through the storm. By nightfall, the gang lay scattered. And their leader, a scarred man named Brig Renard, faced Cole one-on-one. "You can't save her," Brig sneered, raising his gun. she's already ruined. But Cole's shot came first. The outlaw fell without another word. When Cole returned to the cabin, bloodied and bruised, Lena was waiting at the door. "You shouldn't have done that," she whispered. "You'll be hunted now." He smiled faintly. "I've been hunted by worse things. Like guilt." She stepped closer, tears glistening in her eyes. "Why help me?" He looked into her eyes, not at the scars, but through them. "Because when I untied that rope, I didn't see a ruined woman. I saw someone who still had the courage to beg not to be judged. That's strength most men will never know." Weeks passed, and as the snow began to fall, the cabin transformed from a place of pain into one of healing. Cole taught Lena how to ride, how to shoot, how to live again. The fire in her eyes slowly returned, and one night, as they sat by the fire, she whispered, "I'm not afraid anymore." He smiled, his hand brushing hers. "Then the world better watch out." Cole Danner, the lone rancher who once lived among ghosts, had found something worth protecting again, and in saving her, he'd unknowingly saved himself. The snow fell heavier that night, blanketing the ranch in silence. Cole sat near the fire, cleaning his rifle, when he heard soft footsteps behind him. Lena stood there, her face illuminated by the golden glow of the flames. For the first time, she wasn't hiding her scars. "You shouldn't look at me like that," she whispered. "Like I'm someone worth saving." Cole set the rifle down and turned to her, his eyes steady. "You are. Because you're still standing." She looked away, her fingers trembling as she touched the mark on her cheek. That brand. It was meant to remind me I belonged to them. That I was property. Cole rose to his feet slowly. "Not anymore. You belong to yourself now." For a long moment, neither spoke. The fire cracked between them, painting the room in flickers of gold and red. Then Lena's voice broke the silence again. "You could have left me there. Why didn't you?" Cole's jaw tightened. "Because I know what it's like to lose everything. And because no one deserves to die thinking they're worthless." She blinked back tears, whispering, "You don't even know who I am." Cole smiled faintly. "I know enough that you didn't give up." Days turned into weeks. Lena helped around the ranch, learning to feed the horses, mend fences, and even laugh again. But every night, when the wind howled, she still woke in fear, until one night, she found Cole sitting outside, waiting. "You're safe here," he said softly. "I'll keep watch." Something in those words broke the last of her fear. She sat beside him, watching the stars, and whispered, "I used to pray for someone like you." He turned to her, his voice low and steady. "You don't need someone like me. You just need to remember who you are." The next morning, she rode alone for the first time, her back straight, her eyes fierce. From the porch, Cole watched her with quiet pride. The woman he'd found broken in the rain now rode like freedom itself. And in that moment, he realized, saving her had given his own life meaning again.